Alright guys, hope the fan isn't too loud, but I've been really wanting to get on this K20. And I wanted to clean my garage tonight, which I'm like, it was like 110 earlier while I was moving this, so I'm kind of burnt out. So my buddy Chad came over with a winch, and we winched it down into the street. I got it on video, but I'll do a time lapse. But anyways, got it over here, and then we just winched it. We had him back up as far into the driveway as he could. Then we just winched it back as far in here as we could, and then both of us wheeled it a little further, and now it's to the point where I can roll it by myself. So I'm pretty sure without the bed that I can bring it in, and I gotta clean all this stuff. So that's what I'm gonna work on now, is getting my garage clean. But I'm gonna pull this back, get it in here straight. My main plan, and what I'm hopefully gonna do, I'm gonna try to make enough room to where I can put this in at an angle, and then that way I have plenty of room to work around it. And then I'll put my workbench, I'll move it all over, and then I'll park the K10 up underneath this one single garage. So I think that's the plan, I think. But that's probably for another night, because I'm freaking beat right now. It's hotter than hell. It's probably about 105 in this garage, I would imagine. I don't know if my thermostats are working on my garage door opener, but anyway, so I had to pull my trailer out and stuff. But anyway, so the K10 dripping in the driveway, and I leaked freaking power steering fluid all the way up here. So my neighbors, you know, I love square bodies and my neighbors hate me, so, which I'm pretty sure is the case today. So alright, I'm gonna get this sucker moved in here and call it a night. Make a video for you. Yeah, there you go. And we'll do, so once I get this in here, I'll do a quick walk around. We'll do a recap of the K20, where it started, where I was going, where I'm going now with it, and what is the status of the drivetrain, etc., etc. Alright guys, got my garage cleaned up here. Well, kind of shuffled everything around and kind of cleaned. My bench is still nasty, but I gotta clean it. So anyways, it's just, I would stay out here longer tonight, but man, the sun whipped me today. The heat, man, it was like probably $110 today, and this garage wasn't very cool, and the box fan wasn't working that good today. So anyways, I gave the K10 her own bay. I decided to put the bench and stuff in the middle here. That way I can kind of have room between both trucks, and you know, I can finagle them around a little bit if I need to do some work on them. But the K10, pretty good. Just a couple little things, so, you know, stuff that I don't really gotta like use the whole garage for. So I'm good to go there. And I really want to get the garage cleaned up. I really want to do some stuff, and I'm like, man, I got to get on the K20. So Operation Tow Vehicle is in full effect here. I'm going to give you just a little bit of rundown of the K20 for those of you that may not have been following the build, or you may have missed a couple videos. So I've done a lot of videos on the K20 as well as the K10. So basically, when I bought the K20, I paid 600 bucks for it. Dude dropped it off at my house on Craigslist. I'm a nice guy, title in hand, good to go. I bought it strictly for the axles and the tranny and transfer case, because it had a 400. I didn't know it had a 400, but when I got it, it had a 400 and a 203. So that was perfect stuff for a doubler. So I swapped the axles into the K10. I put the K10 axles back here, and basically the axle that's back here, it's a semi-floater 14 bolt, so it's a 3/4 ton. It's actually out of, I got it out of the wrecking yard, it's out of a 90, like a 97 3/4 ton 4x4, so it's wide, so the back and the front are the same width. And then this 10 bolt was originally in my K5 Blazer, and it kind of went to the K10, and then obviously, or then, you know, now it's in here. So the 373s, they're both welded, and yeah, really no issues with that other than for towing. I'm probably going to want an open rear end. So I'm going to look, you know, if I mean, for right now it'll be fine to tow, but I may, you know, probably going to look for a 14 bolt full floater, and maybe a, you know, an 8-lug 10 bolt for the front, or, you know, go get the outers or something. But anyways, enough about that. I originally, let me show you here. Okay, yeah, well, no, let me start back here. After I swapped the axles, it sat in the garage for a while. I was gonna like try to get rid of it. Nobody wanted to buy it. You got to give these things away. I didn't want it rotting away in the wrecking yard, so I'm like, you know what? I'll make a rock crawler out of it. So then I was going that direction, which, you know, I ended up putting my 52s up front, and I did shackle flip and stuff in the back, which is not there now. It's in the K10. And then the K10 started, I started doing some trails, and then the K10 started progressing, and then now the K10's the crawler, and the K20 is going to be the tower. Now, the K20, basically I did a frame, you know, like a backyard frame off. I cleaned up the frame. It had a lot of rust, surface rust, not really real bad, but you can see it's kind of like textured there. I sprayed the crap out of it with my pressure washer, cleaned it up. I painted it with that rusty Rust-Oleum paint, that like, I don't know, brown stuff, and then I covered it with the black. I don't know, it's okay, but it'll keep it from rusting away on me. So basically I did that. I did some new cab mounts in the front. I boxed the frame where the steering box is at, so that should hold up okay. On the inside, I had a hole in the floor. I patched that all up and sealed it. I've insulated it. I've cleaned up the gauge cluster and everything. So I had the 400 in here and the 205, and I swapped it out into the K10, and now it's going to get the 465 and the 205. Yeah, so that's the plan. I've already got the exhaust mocked up. I've already wired everything in the engine bay as far as like everything with the engine. I gotta like supply power and figure out where my battery and stuff's gonna go. So yeah, so anyways, here's the truck here. Let me pop the hood, I'll bring you back. Alright, so here we go, iron LS1. It's like had a little power steering fluid leak, so like I said, my neighbors probably hate me, but anyways, iron LS1. It's got LS1 heads. They're the 243s, or no, not 241 heads, I think. And truck intake, and it's got a clutch fan assembly going on there. There's my PCM, how it's mounted. I've got to make some stuff to hold up this wiring, get my fender flares back in, or my inner fender wells. It's pretty much all wired other than putting my battery in and then running my power wires to the starter and all that stuff. So it's good. I got some nickel and dime stuff. I got to do some brake lines. I got to run my brake line from the middle of the truck up to the little distribution block there for the what do they call that, the proportion valve or whatnot. And then I need front brake lines, and I think I need a back brake line as well. And then just little stuff after that, just, you know, putting stuff back together. I got to figure out my seat situation, get the drivetrain up in there, and then figure out my drive lines and all that stuff. So that's where we're at with it. A lot of work's been done to it, but where it's going to be the tow rig, and I had to get it up in here, and we're going to start hitting it hard to try to get this thing done. I have a Moab run in September. I don't really know. I don't really think this is going to make it, but I'm gonna push. I'm gonna push at least if I can get a rear drive line made. That's really gonna like probably cost the most. And then I got to do my fuel system also. And so this tank, while it is a really good, it's a really good like mock-up tank. I ordered it wrong. I ordered the diesel tank instead of the TBI tank, so it doesn't have a baffle in it. So I'll either have to like cut it and put a baffle in it, or just order a new one. And a new one's like $100 from Summit. I get it in a day. I don't really want to spend $100, but I don't really want to cut a big hole in the tank and do all that crap. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, so it was cool. I was able to get the truck in here. I want to thank my buddy Chad for coming over with his Jeep and using the winch. So we winched it down and we winched it back in. It was pretty awesome. It went pretty smooth. So that's it, guys. I hope you stick around for the K20 build. And I know some of you guys really have enjoyed the K20 build. So it's back. We're back in action. I left the bed on the side of the house. That way I could fit it in here. And I got a lot of stuff to do here before I need to put the bed back on, get the tank. I've already mocked up the tank, all that stuff. So really it's just a lot of little stuff, tightening stuff down and just getting it going. So yeah, that's it. I appreciate you guys. You guys take care. Have a good night. We'll talk to you soon. Saturday, we've got a trail ride, so I'll get you a video on Saturday night, maybe Sunday morning, somewhere around there. Yeah, we're going to go run a little trail. So not too serious of a trail, but, you know, it is what it is. I did wire up some lights on the K10 here. Let's see if I'll turn them on. I wired up my backup camera. So I put these here. They shine out back. I put one coming down to the rear diff, but one of them I was missing some screws, so I left the one off the transfer case. I got two here. I got some pointing down at the axle so I can see what's going on, and then I got these ones kind of pointing out a little bit. So that way if I got to turn my light off for my spotter, I can still drive and know where I'm going, you know what I'm saying? So that's it. I appreciate you guys. You guys take care. Have a good one.